Couldn't help myself, just had to make another space video. Such a beautiful clear evening tonight here in Memphis. It's October 19th, Tuesday night at about 11 or 10:40 p.m. Today was just a fabulously beautiful day in the low 70s, clear. Might have been a few high wispy cirrus clouds floating by. But what really got my attention, of course, in addition to the beautiful gas giant planets Jupiter and Saturn over there, which have 80 known moons apiece. That's impressive to me. 80 known moons apiece, so they're tied for the lead, the two beautiful gas giants. But our moon caught my attention tonight, just looking up at it as I was wandering out to the dumpster to take out some trash. I saw the moon. I thought I needed to talk about that a little bit. The moon is 240,000 miles from the Earth on average. That is 30 Earth diameters. The Earth is 8,000 miles in diameter. Actually 7,926 miles in diameter at the equator. But for all intents and purposes, for mathematical simplification, it's 8,000 miles in diameter. So 30 Earth diameters would put us at the moon's surface, or very, very close. And the moon is 2,160 miles in diameter, so it's about slightly more than a quarter the size of the Earth. The mass is 1/81, so the Earth is 81 times more massive than the moon. And the gravity on the surface of the moon is 1/6 that of the gravity on the surface of the Earth. So if you weigh 180 pounds on Earth, you would weigh 30 pounds on the moon. That's kind of cool. And of course the moon has very little atmosphere to speak of. Whatever atmosphere there is, it's like 1,000,000 times thinner than ours. It's a vacuum for all intents and purposes. Now the Earth and Moon orbit about their common center of gravity, the barycenter, and that is located slightly below the surface of the Earth. So they both go about this common center of gravity. The Earth just wobbles a little bit in its orbit, and the Moon does most of the motion. And of course, the same face of the Moon always is pointed towards the Earth. That means that a day on the Moon is the same as its orbital period around the Earth, which is 29 Earth days. Hence the name month or moonth. Of course, it's known that the phases of the moon affect the behavior of animal life. It's for obvious reasons. I mean, when the moon is full, there's more light. And we've got a couple of probes orbiting it right now, just mapping literally every square inch of the surface. These orbiters, not very high. I'm not sure the exact altitude above the surface, but it might be 30 to 40 miles, 50 to 60 kilometers above the surface. They're orbiting. I believe one is in like a polar orbit, so the moon effectively rotates underneath it. And the probe is just able to map the whole surface. And of course, we're looking for suitable landing spots, also mapping the geology of the surface. And of course, the Chinese have recently landed a probe on the far side of the moon, which is pretty cool. And the only way we can get data back from this probe on the far side of the moon is through these orbiters serving as relays. And we also know that at the south pole of the moon, and probably the north pole as well, there are ice deposits where there is water ice hidden in these craters where the sun never shines. And so that's one possibility for a lunar base, is at the south pole because of these water deposits. So hopefully, the nations of the world will get themselves together and find a way to get back to the moon. I'm glad to see that a couple of different countries are up there, in addition, of course, to the United States. I know the nation of India has sent a probe. A couple others, of course, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Russians, of course. So that's good. So we're all getting out there, and hopefully that trend continues. Thank you for watching.